Now, the hardest lesson that I have learned, but has made the most drastic change on my transformation journey, has been in order to change your life, sometimes you have to break it. Guys, it's good morning. I'm over content that just tells you what to do or tells you what you should be doing. I want to know what you've learned. How has the things that I should be doing, how have they impacted you? So as I go along on my day today, I want to be sharing a few of those lessons, some life-changing lessons that I have learned. Some of these lessons I feel like I should have known. And hopefully me sharing them with you can help accelerate your journey to get to the dream version of yourself. Okay, so let's go. Now, I have always been a free-spirited person. I want to do something different every single day. That had to change when I had children, because children grow well, or they do well, at least mine, on structure and routine. And a lot of the times, the struggles that I had with keeping my house together or finishing projects on time was because I just didn't have a structure to my day. A lot of the burnout I was feeling as a new mom, as a wife, as an employee, and then into my entrepreneurship wasn't necessarily that I was doing too much. It was I didn't have a system or a routine to follow, and so I was trying to do everything at the same time, and so then nothing was getting done, and now you're running around in the circles and you don't have nothing to show for the circles you've been running around in. Therefore, burnout. I had to learn the hard way that routines are not boring, they are necessary, okay? Routines create stability in your life, and even though it's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing the same thing every single day, baby, that's consistency. That is what consistency looks like. And when you create a system, i.e. a routine, around the different goals that you have, the different things that you want to come forth, whether it's in your character building, your body building, your mental building, or in your business, creating a system, a routine around those things is what's going to help accelerate growth in that area. It's going to keep you focused, that you're doing the things that you have to do in order to see that goal through. That doesn't mean that you can't find ways to spice up your routine every couple of days or work it in a way that feels fresh for you. For me, I try to give myself dedicated days to a particular action. So, I'm a full-time content creator. Instead of filming video every single day or filming and editing every single day, I block out my schedule so that I am filming, say, 2 times a week. And I almost never edit on the same day that I'm filming. Even though my goals require me to film and edit and then post and engage with that content, I make sure that my routine is more of a weekly routine so that every day doesn't feel exactly the same. If you have fitness goals, instead of it being, okay, every day, as part of my morning routine, I am going to walk for an hour. Maybe switch it up so it can be just an exercise block in your morning routine, and then you can decide what you want to do for that exercise block. So one day you can go walking, another day you can play pickleball, you can do weight training, you can go Pilates, you can meet up with your girls, climb Stone Mountain. There's different ways for you to still be in routine, but keeping it lively so you don't feel bored. But the lesson is the lesson. You need routines in order to create the systems and the structure to get ahead and become the best version of yourself, or get to the goals that you said that you want. And I'm just started reading 30 Truths for Common Lies for Women. It's by the Daily Grace Co. And today's devotional was talking about the lie that we believe that we can operate in our own strength. I will go through periods of time of worry because I'm looking only at my strengths and therefore my weaknesses, okay, and the things that I lack, the skills that I lack, the resources that I lack, and it causes me to worry. Our society thinks that the opposite of worry is like preparedness, just to be so prepared that you don't have anything to worry about. But then in religion, our religion believes that the opposite of worry is just this blind trust in God, like God got it, I don't have nothing to worry about. But it's a very passive approach to faith, because if you are just laying around doing nothing, waiting and trusting in God, we don't see any change. There's no fruit in your life that shows me that God is actually working on your behalf, right? And I have learned that the opposite of worry for me is not just this blind trust, it is active faith. There's two parts to active faith. It is resting in the power of God and resting and believing in his strengths of who he is as your good father who is working things out for your good. And then there's also the part of doing the actions that you know God has already revealed to you that you need to be doing. That is part of the plan. Taking actual steps while believing that he is working everything out that you cannot see, that he is unraveling all of the details that you have nothing to do with, but you're putting one foot in front of the other. You're resisting laziness. You're resisting ignoring God completely, because I'm gonna be honest, when I am deep in worry or like feeling really anxious, my prayer life sucks, okay? I am not praying. I am really not in my word like that. I am actively ignoring God, okay? Active faith looks like actually executing, which has been my word for the month of July. It's been execute. You know, June, I did a self-care challenge in my broadcast channel over on Instagram. 30 days of self-care so that we can glow and grow, okay? And it helped really reset me for the rest of this year, where I'm coming from a place of gratitude, of positivity, of like feeling very clear from pouring into myself. Now, July has been all about execution, and it's coming out of that lesson of having an active form of faith, not a passive one. Your life is not going to change. It is not going to become the dream version of what you seek if you're not actively working towards that. I know where I'm going. I have the vision, but what is it that he needs me to do so that this vision can come to pass? Because you and God is a partnership so that he gets the glory. That means that you are responsible for a certain part of this partnership. It's not just all on God. He wants to partner with the gifts and the abilities and your dedication, your life, your obedience to him to then get the glory. Because girl, he don't need us for real. Let's be honest. But he desires to partner with you, and that is the opposite of worry. It says it's time to execute, not just sit around and dream. Dreaming is great. We need that part too, okay? I am definitely a dreamer, so I'm not saying don't dream. It's just, it's time to execute on them dreams, okay? Unto your soul. One of the most impactful things that I have learned on this transformation journey that I wish I would have learned sooner, it would have saved me a lot of headache and heartache, sis, is that the very thing that you're running away from could be the thing that is going to lead you into purpose or to your fulfilled version of life. Now, this can sound like, do the hard thing, don't take the easy way out, but that's not necessarily what I'm saying. I want you to pay attention to any gifting or talent or characteristic that you have a level of fear around or anxiousness around, or you just have some sort of hindrance stopping you from using that particular gift or even wanting to use that particular gift. For me, that has always been my voice. If I look back, even as a child, I have been subconsciously taught to be quiet, to keep opinions to myself. And as I grew up, I kind of internalized that messaging that my voice is not impactful, or I don't have anything to share, or I don't have anything to share that people would want to listen to. And the more that I dive deeper into purpose, the more clear it's become that I need to be using my voice. And if I had learned this lesson earlier on, I think a lot of the places that I put myself in or allowed other people to shine because I felt like I should just be a support person, where people were able to, I don't want to say use me, but get ahead or get over on me, I wouldn't have done that. That wouldn't have happened because I would have acknowledged my purpose in the gifting that I was already called to. I've always been a creative person, but I was taught that there's no money in the creative world, right? I've always had a knack for speaking and for writing, and it just felt like I've been intentionally attacked in that area. Don't be afraid of your gifting or your talent or stepping out on faith in a particular talent that you have, because the very thing that you're afraid of could be your purpose, and you are being intentionally attacked in that area to stop you from going forward in that way. I ain't say it was gonna be easy because you gifted. However, it's going to be 1,000 times more fulfilling than you going down a path that is quote unquote easier. And this is why I have been very intentional in using the word of, or the phrase, a fulfilled life and not a successful life, because we can take the easier route or a route of least resistance, doing something that I don't really feel fear around or is not really challenging me, and find success in it. The difference is I can be successful, air quotes here, and be unfulfilled. We see that all the time, especially with celebrities, with people who have reached high heights financially and are struggling. Step out on that thing that you are scared to do, on the talent that you are afraid to use, the thing that you are feeling a little anxious about. Take the courses, get a mentor, get a life coach, do whatever you need to do. Pray, girl, pray. Pray, okay? But do whatever mental work that you need to do to get over that fear and anxiousness that's surrounding your calling. Because let's be for real, the devil is never going to attack something that you are not called to do. The reason why you are experiencing those kinds of mental attacks, character assassinations around that particular gifting is because you're supposed to use it. You're supposed to use it. So use it, and use it quickly. Now let's get into some lessons I've learned about love. And I've learned a lot of them. Okay, somehow we're gonna have this conversation while I do my clusters, my lashes, my own DIY lash extension situation. Let's see how that goes. Every time I try and give y'all a tutorial, I poke myself in the eye. So this is not a tutorial. We're just gonna have a conversation while I do this. Okay, purr. If you do not know, I did get married at the age of 21. And so I have learned some things that I wish I knew before I did that. Okay. Honestly, there's a lot of things that I've learned that I feel like I can do a whole what I wish I knew before I got married in my 20s kind of video. Let me know if y'all want that and I'll do that. If not, we can keep it pushing, okay? We're gonna keep this cute. But for the overview, I am still currently married. We are going on 13 years. Has there been a change in the dynamics of our relationship? Yes. Are we divorced? No. So, moving along. The advice that I tend to see online is that before you get into a serious committed relationship or look for marriage, that you need to be fully healed or completely know yourself. And I do disagree with that. We are dynamic people. We're always changing. So instead of fully knowing yourself being the answer to making sure that you're with the right partner, you actually need to know your values. Because even though you as a person might change, typically your values, your morals, the things that you stand for, once you know those don't really change. How you go about them or how they manifest in your life may change. So instead of trying to be completely healed or endeavoring to be a whole person before looking for love, girl, you need to figure out what your core values and what your morals actually are. And that's not just going to help you in relationship, that's going to help you in friendships, another form of relationship. I meant like intimate relationship. But it's also going to help you in friendships, in business deals, in job offers. Knowing your values is going to help you find those opportunities that are for you, and do not compromise on them, because compromising on those values is usually what gets you in trouble. Every relationship, every situation is going to take some level of compromise, but never on your values, sis. Every situation I've been in where I compromised on a value, it's always come back to bite me in the butt. It's always been the very thing that turns around and ruins that relationship or that business opportunity. Those core beliefs, that is what guides you in your decision making as far as the activities that you partake in, how you want to raise your children. If y'all don't agree on those kind of core values, it is just going to lead to even more difficult situations that you could have avoided. And that's not all that you should judge that person based off of. You need to judge that person on how they treat you, not just when things are good and happy-go-lucky and all things are so well. You need to judge that person on how they treat you when they're upset, when they're not getting their way, when they're in a stressful environment or dealing with life things. How do they treat you in those moments? That is going to show you the true character of that person. There is no amount of love bombing that person can do if you are judging them on how they treat you or treat other people around you or in their life when they're upset. Any rational human being who respects you is going to treat you with respect even when they're upset. You blowing up on me because you're angry is just unexcusable. It really is. A person calling you out of your name and then turning around and being like, oh, I was just angry, or I just said that because you were acting like one. Unexcusable. If they do that multiple times, baby girl, that is their character. They are showing you exactly who they are in those moments. Believe them. When I get to these inner corners, it's hard for me to do anything else but concentrate. Where was I? Judge them by how they treat you and others, right? And if you haven't been in a situation yet with that person, listen to how they talk about their family or their friends, or how they treat service workers or staff members when you go out. Like, there's a lot of opportunities to see how a person interacts with the world and people that they don't respect or look up to. That is how you judge someone's character. And sis, when they show you, believe them. It's not just how they treat somebody else. That is how they treat people. And people includes you, because when Mad Day turns around, exactly how you saw them blow up on a family, on a friends, on a mama, sister, cousin, the waitress, that is how they treat people when they blow up. And when Mad Day comes and it's you on the receiving end of that, it's not an accident. That's how they is. Now, the only thing that I say that you absolutely must need to do before relying on or merging finances with somebody else is learning how to manage your money. Even if you're not the best at managing finances, when you partner with somebody, make sure that it is a partnership. Do your part to learn the ins and outs of how to manage your money, life insurance, how the bills get paid, who do the bills get paid to, how do we set up auto pay, how do I make sure that this is in line with my budget, how to budget. These are things that you need to learn, and it's easy to do so because we have YouTube University. We have access to so much knowledge that you really don't have an excuse on not learning how to manage your money. I remember when we moved from our apartment into our first house, at the apartment, girl, I was like, oh, we are doing so good. I was managing all of the bills. That was like my role. So I had my little ledger that I would keep up with, and I'm a spreadsheet girl, so created my little spreadsheet. Oh no, I didn't have a spreadsheet yet. I just had like a notepad that I would write down all of the bills on every month, when they were due, how much, and then when we paid them. So we had like our own little log, and we had like 5 bills between the both of us. We had all of 5 bills, and we were just like big adulthood, right? And I remember when we purchased our first home, seeing our bills go from the little five little 6 bills to like 15 almost immediately, because pest control, landscaping. We had a tree fall into our roof twice. Yes, homeowners insurance. I believe the second tree was completely covered. I want to say the first tree was, I'm sure Cedric struck a deal with the roofing company so that we didn't end up having to come out of pocket a lot. But I remember that the first like out of pocket cost was, and we had been in that house maybe like a year when the first tree fell in. And I mean, it fell in like completely into, we had 3 floors, so it completely into our 3rd floor. Like we had a skylight. And so it was not just enough to be able to cover mortgage payments. We had to be in a position to take care of when these random things happen. Your washing machine flooded? Oh, yeah, that's something that happens. That you have a leak, you need to seal your granite countertops once a year, every couple of years. You need to seal your wood floors or get them polished. Like, these are the different things that add up with or come with home ownership that people don't tell you about. They only talk to you about your monthly payment. They don't explain to you that your insurance and your taxes might fluctuate. And so the mortgage payment that you're paying this year might just go up $300-$400 next year because your homeowner's insurance went up. That is why it's not enough to just be able to afford the payment. Your car? I went to Florida for a family trip. We took the kids to Florida, where I had a freak accident, girl, and I twisted my ankle. Okay, so I've been limping and braced up my ankle and my knee ever since. I got back from Florida, and girl, my car said, mine too. My ankle hurts too. So now she's squeaking. So sis, don't get caught up in the, well, I can afford the $900 a month for this car, or the couple $1,000s for my mortgage. Don't get caught up in the payment. The true test is looking into what maintenance looks like. That's research that you should do before you even make a purchase. What does maintenance look like If the worst could happen to this car and it's not covered by insurance, or my house and it won't be covered by insurance, what does that look like? Can I afford that on top of my monthly payment? And that is how you know you can afford something, okay? Don't get caught up in the glitters and the sparkly things, or thinking that, oh, well, it's a new thing, therefore it's not going to give me problems. No, no, we had a new house and had problems. I have a new car and have problems. You have to be prepared for maintaining the very thing that you want. Okay? Don't get caught slipping out here and you rolling around with a squeaky car forever because you cannot afford to maintain it. Baby, you can't afford that car. Sis, don't be one of these girls out here with the $5,000-$6,000 bag and gum wrappers inside, or hoping that somebody's gonna buy them a drink because they bought the purse and therefore now they can't afford anything else. It is not worth it. Go on Amazon, buy you a JWPEI, however you say it, okay? Especially when these things go on sale. Girl, go in those stores, buy you your cute 50, 60, $100 bag and enjoy your life. Collect experiences, not just things, okay? Don't have a closet full of bags and shoes and you can't do nothing except for dress up and walk around hoping for somebody else to fund your experiences. That is not life. That is not life at all. Now, the hardest lesson that I have learned and have done, but has made the most drastic change on my transformation journey, has been, in order to change your life, sometimes you have to break it. You have watched me completely turn my life upside down, okay? And for a lot of you, it might have looked like self-destruction, and actually it was self-destruction. I had to self-destruct and completely dismantle the life that I had built up all these 34 years, okay, in order to reset and get aligned on the path that God actually had for me. It is hard to undo deep-rooted habits that are hindering you, that are holding you back, especially when you feel like you are on a cycle. In order to change that cycle, you have to disrupt it. The best catalyst for self-improvement is actually dismantling self first. And that's scary. It is very scary. It is a hard decision to make. It took me a full calendar year before I committed to the process, because I knew I was going to be hurting people along the way. I was going to be radically changing not only the way that I live, but a lot of people around me, people that I actually care for. So it was a hard decision to come to, but it is one of the best, single-handedly the best decision, other than recommitting my life to Christ, that I could have made. The place that I'm in now, still under construction, still in progress, but so mentally clear. I know that I would not be in this place had I not completely dismantled my life. You are going to grieve it. Okay, you are going to go through time periods of questioning if you made the right decision. Yes, you're going to be sad. It's a process that you go through, and I'm still walking through that process. But in the middle of chaos, I feel so much more like myself. And I'm hoping that you're able to see that in my content here on YouTube, over on Instagram and Facebook. Ciao. TikTok, okay? With the comments and the messages that I'm getting, I feel like you guys are seeing that reflected through my content, just how I carry myself. I'm a lot more free. I think you get to really see my personality now shine through, and I just, again, in the middle of chaos, I feel so much more at peace knowing that the hardship that I'm facing now is intentional, purposeful. There's things that God is working through me or working out of me through these times. And at the same time, I feel so free and just like happy. Like, it feels really good to be back in alignment and know for sure, like, this is where I'm supposed to be right now. I did a hard thing, and now I get to walk through a journey that is way more fulfilling than the path that I was on. If any of these lessons resonated with you today, sis, I'm gonna link a playlist that you can watch that's gonna help you with your routines, with your values, and overall just get you on a path to your version of a fulfilled life. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you like content just like this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.